All right, welcome back to Policing Pips live stream here. I will be your host as always, Policing Pips, and we are about to open here. It looks like right at overnight lows, so that's kind of my go-to lately of this overnight low flush. But we are very close to the very close to Friday's lows as well. So let's keep an eye on that for now. Maybe we can get a hard flush into Friday's low. Alrighty. If we can do that, try to get that rotation to VWAP and then be done with it. Maybe even get a rally into this rate decision come Wednesday. As always, don't do dumb shit. All right. We are now open. Let's see what happens with this opening here. I want to see a flush of the overnight low. Break down to 914, 410 down into 400 would be nice. You can see S&P's pushing upside. I would like to see this now, a heavy flush there. I will buy if it comes back into that range there above 420. That's a buy area for me. And then we'll take a quick mover. Let's see. Get into 432 for the. Let's see what happens here. It's probably going to be pretty whippy here. Nvidia is finding some support of 1588. Let's see if we can catch a bid from there. Like I said, I'm going to let this thing dance around some. This is my ideal setup here, flushing the overnight low, opening on overnight lows, trying to hold a key structure level of 400. If we can front run that 400, then we should get a pop over this range high here at 441. If we break 441, then I want to see how much higher we can go. I am in. Let's see. I sized up a little bit. I got 5 contracts on. It is rollover. Be cautious. It is FOMC week. Be cautious. I need to see this break and go quick. If it's not going to go quick, I want to cut it. S&P's is leading us to the upside through VWAP. Nvidia caught a nice bounce from 115.97, which is the low of the day, 115.88. Microsoft's getting a little heavy, so this could flush 400 first before going upside, but I'm going to hold it for now. See what happens. I'm willing to take this first chance at it. Come on now. Oh, there's a heaviness. It is heavy. It's going to keep going right now. Hey-o. That was a nice heavy break down to the downside. So watch out below right now. Probably should have cut that when it started to be a little heavier. But NVIDIA was catching a bounce, so I was willing to take that chance to the long side. I will take it again, but I'll take it with tighter stops. NVIDIA 115, trying to dance around with that 115.97. Microsoft could come down to that pre-market low here and then maybe catch a rally from there, but we got to wait and see for that. I'm going to take 2 shots at this. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. I also talked last week about the 380 mark. So 380 is coming in right here, and it's pretty heavy. So coming into this week, I'm interested in this. See if that retest of that breakout area is going to come into play. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. We started this week off out with a nice quick loss. Took our shot at it. A lot of times if this is going to fail quick, it goes right away. So it didn't go right away. It ticked us in, and then you can see rotating downside right now currently. As far as numbers are concerned, we do have manufacturing index that came out this morning. Nothing else that was really important. One star stuff. Really nothing. Ooh, super heavy. Super heavy right now. Nvidia's selling off. Microsoft selling off. Right into that support there at 350, 340. Interesting. So that's a good bounce point right there as well. Not that I'm trying to get in front of it, but that is a good area for it, there to be some interest, right? We got looking left, that big wick here, around, what time was that? 150 on Friday. Like a very whippy downside. Was that Friday? No. Why is my previous day low there when that's Friday? That's Thursday. Friday's over here. $320. Funny that I'm very much a perma bear. We opened on that on that opening range low, really the overnight low. I had to take the chance at that for that shot at the long side. I'm gonna get rid of this order for now and hold off. I'm willing to, like I said, to give back that little bit there. I will take another shot at it when it gives me a chance or some sort of setup. Everything seems pretty heavy though right now. Nvidia's pretty heavy. Microsoft is holding 428 for now. Let's see if it'll hold that longer term. Nvidia does not have very much support here. 113.70. I did mention it is rollover time, so just note that. Be careful with the rollover. It is heavy right now. I'm going to wait on that to return back towards my levels. $325. This does seem like a really good area of support here. S&Ps does have a little bit more to the downside for that previous day low here. From basically the open on Friday, that previous day low, even if it's a little higher, probably up into that 5606, 5605 level for S&Ps. The NQ, 1 minute here. I would think that this is a good bounce location for it. S&Ps is still heavy. Nvidia is bouncing. Microsoft is bouncing as well. Up over 430. I like this area, but I would like to see like another sweep of the low before I would try and get long on it. If it just turns around and goes straight up, then we could see a nice recovery of this entire move. Our opening range is right here. The opening range is from the bottom of this. So the 1 minute opening range is from here to here. That was a really good buy location right there. I wanted to step in front of that a little bit, talking about that level, but I just did not take that chance. especially after taking that loss there. I want to see if I can get back up over that overnight low again. I'll try that there. That is a really good buy location, though. I'm not going to buy middle of the range. I'm going to wait, see what happens with this price, see if we can get up over here. The return back to VWAP would be ideal. This 515 up to 522 from the overnight is a really interesting area. It was very it accumulated here. Didn't really follow through on the overnight. Tried to break it again. Failed it. And then we've been selling since that time. NVIDIA pushing up towards 115.97. Not quite breaking it. Microsoft still being strong. Straight up to 413.50-ish. If we do get a flush of this low, I would look to rotate along through a 40-ish level. That would be my entry point to try and rotate back to VWAP there. But it would need to be like a hard whippy flush of this low here, then get me up over that 40 pretty quick to rotate it. I think that we stay strong and we hold this level and we continue to rally, but that's just my thought on this for now. It doesn't mean that it'll happen. With NVIDIA running into rejection at 115.97 and selling off, Microsoft going upside. So we do have that separation there, divergence between the two. Google's beaten down, Amazon down on its lows, Tesla on its lows. So the only thing really holding this up is Microsoft at the moment. So if Microsoft turns around at all, this market goes downside. If any of those other names start to get bid up, then we start to rotate to the high side. But we will wait and see. Took that quick loss right off the jump. Microsoft still pushing straight up. 432 breaking 432.10. Very nice move there from Microsoft. Next stop for Microsoft, 439. If it can keep catching a bid. This is a very strong area, though, for resistance. I can put it on the 30 minutes so I can see where this when we were over here last. Alrighty, Microsoft trying to get into capitulatory territory here. I want to see if it'll get up over this 39. It will push into that 36-ish area too for that next area of interest. But if it rejects this area, then I would anticipate some selling coming into the market now. Further downside with Microsoft finding a top potentially to rotate more to the downside. %60 long on the tilt probably leads us to a little more downside pressure. Just being patient, letting things chill. Maybe we can get up over that level. Maybe we can start catching a bid in some of these other names. NVIDIA, Google, Tesla, Amazon. All right, NVIDIA's starting to curl up. Microsoft's still holding that high, but it does look like it wants to sell some. We'll see if it holds over 432 or not. It held that 428 level that we held on Friday that I was looking for. And then a flush and a break of that level. So looking like it's selling from that high. If NVIDIA sells also, then we could catch a momentum short through this level. But looks like they're diverging again. Looks like NVIDIA found a bit of a buyer at the bottom and Microsoft found a seller at the top. So still staying kind of stuck in this little tight range. S&P is looking like it wants to base out, maybe rotate down lower. Okay, a little strength stepping in. All right. see if we get over the 400 level or not. Microsoft new high of the day. Nvidia still trying to break back above basically 116. 115.97 has been that line in the sand. If Nvidia starts to catch a bit over there, we could start to see a rally come into play. Could want to buy this through 80s and then secure it at even and then see if it gets through 400. I might want to do that if I could get Nvidia to break out. But S&P's hit off on that overnight low and sold immediately, so that's something that's telling. All right, Nvidia got through that level and is selling. And Microsoft breaking out highs, continuing. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Let it do its thing. I think high side does come in. I would have liked to have gotten another flush first. All right, Nvidia back above there. Microsoft still breaking highs. Now Nvidia just gave a hard sell from 420 from the VWAP, 116.22. Microsoft on a mission to the high side. So if anything else catches a bid, then this goes up. If Microsoft fails this level higher, then it should rotate down. Then you start to get that next leg to the downside. I think we could get this through here. All right. See if this holds right here. Increasing volume in Microsoft here at 433. If it continues on up, then we should get some solid continuation. Like I said, 436 and then 439 for Microsoft. Nvidia is still holding at that 116 level. So if it fails 116, then I'm going to watch this to the downside one more time. Momentum to the downside. Any of these other names rolling? Google pushing to higher levels. Tesla pushing up as well. Yep, everything's starting to catch a bid. This S&P's, though, showing me some heaviness. Microsoft's starting to sell a little bit. If it gets back down below 431.90, I think I want to go for that retest of the 40s. Nah. We're going to let our normal setups come into play. See if this thing flushes the low and then try and get the long, like I said, from the bottom of 40. Try and get the long from 40. Or I'll play a continuation long through the overnight low. I hope everybody's doing all right so far today. Still just chilling. I did take that first loss because I tried that real quick move there. Didn't get it. It happens. We're just looking to catch that next buy location that I can find here. Looking like we're getting strength. I think we could, if you wick 400 and then it comes right back down below this previous day low, then further downside pressure comes in. And I would look to short the 80s. But overall, right now, it's starting to get stronger, building up. Microsoft, Nvidia, both trying to hold their key levels right now. I want to see a strong push through 400 or straight to the overnight low, maybe pull back into here, and then I'll play the second break of that long of the overnight low. If not, we flip through 400, grab some liquidity, and rotate straight back down. Then I'll take that short that way. But looks like NVIDIA is trying to bid up through the VWAP. Microsoft's still holding 431, but has a little bit of heaviness to it. Not crazy. I think it's trying to hold that support at 431.94, 432. S&P's now holding over the overnight low, which is nice. Let's see if 400 holds. Looks like it will. So if we get that first snap here to overnight lows, I'm going to play the long through it, but I want to play the second break of it. I don't want to play the first break of it. If it does fail this level right now, then I'm going to go short through 80s. Because it shouldn't fail 400 and then all the way down. So here we go. We're now pushing back up through that overnight low. Let's see if we can get through it and snappy, or if we're going to start to rotate back to the downside. I don't hate the idea of the short, but S&P is still trying to be relatively strong. Microsoft selling a little bit from there. I will sell 3 through that level there. Microsoft broke down through 431.94. Could get some heaviness coming in here. Could get some heaviness coming in. Got right back above it. S&P's fighting with that 56.27. Yeah, it looks like Microsoft and NVIDIA both looking like they want to sell a little bit. I'm going to get just right up to here. So if it snaps through, I could get in. If it snaps through the overnight low, then we're going to get long on the retest. Should we fail 400, it should continue to the downside. Microsoft back up to 432, holding that 431, 432 level nicely, up to 432.50. NVIDIA is still kind of dancing around with those pre-market levels, that breakdown level that we initially sold off from. So if NVIDIA does continue to flush 115.97, 116, then I would want to see if Microsoft will follow through as well. And I would like to take this with 5 contracts. 5 micros. 66% long on the tilt. Where's that wick? I want to get to the bottom of that. I want to take some off there. Yeah, that's a good spot. I would expect rotational movements. So that's why I like the failure of the overnight low. The long from 40 made a lot of sense. I wanted a flush of it again. We didn't get it. I'm really trying to play this off the confluence of Microsoft and NVIDIA currently. If I can get the selling to come back in, then this should come in heavy. Going to try and get to even quick on this move if it does happen. And then try and get flat. Get myself back to even. S&P is getting strong again. NVIDIA, if I can get NVIDIA back to 115.97, 116, and Microsoft's breaking highs, then potentially the break of this overnight low to the long side makes sense. Not a super strong move through this overnight low at the moment. S&P is trying to push all the way to overnight highs, which is great for our divergence idea. So is NQ leading or is S&P's leading? It seems like S&P's is trying to be relatively strong compared. With NVIDIA selling and Microsoft showing a little bit of weakness, I could anticipate just like a quick snap down through 400 and then rotate. But like I said, I think that we could still break, push up into this 40s, come back down, retest overnight lows. I didn't want to take the first break here because I think that first break does come back down and retest. I don't want to do that. I want to see if I can get snappy moves. Nvidia looking to pull back to 115.97 again. Microsoft, if it pulls back to 431, then we can get into that 400. I'll set a buy order through the overnight low. So we have both ends covered here if we catch a bounce at all. If it bounces here, I want to go long. If Nvidia bounces, I should say. Yeah, it looks like it wants to bounce. I'm going to get rid of this real quick. There we go. Nice little push up. Sell 2 at VWAP if it gets there. I would like to get this to limit my risk. There we go. Up. Come on up we go. So Nvidia catching a bounce at 115.97. So Microsoft trying to break highs. So I wanted to get this to get through that opening range high. Can we get through opening range high to VWAP? I'm going to sell 2 off at VWAP. Then I'm going to move my stop up to the opening range high and see if we can break out that opening range high. Come on now. Get on up through that opening range high. Snap my tag off that VWAP. That'd be great. If it pulls back to overnight hot lows again, I will try and re-enter if it does give me that chance. It looks like it wants to maybe take off. I'll take off. Let's see. I have my hotkeys here, so I'm trying to do this with the hotkeys, but I'm not doing it great. Let's go. Come on now. Push up. Hold this. Hold this level. S&P is still holding over the overnight highs, which is good. Nvidia trying to catch a little bit of a bid, still holding over 115.97, still strong. Microsoft still up at those highs, didn't sell off really snappy. So we are just rejecting that opening range high here. If we can get through, we should snap to that VWAP right there. If we snap to VWAP, I should get 2 off, and then I should have my stop just at the opening range high. If it comes back and taps me out, that's fine. I would like to break through this level here. Currently, it has to move. Now, if it doesn't move on this candle, then we're probably going to roll over, and I'm going to get stopped out anyway. So I'm going to put it below this candle here, take my $65, and move on to the next trade. But I think we can snap through that high. It should happen here quickly if it's going to. Like I said, if it's going to happen, it should happen now. If it's going to pull back, we're out. There we go. We're out for a small win there. I just didn't expect this to hold that. And if it does start to rotate down, I'm going to take the short. The timing on, oh, there's the good break. So there it is. I was 1 minute or a couple seconds too quick with that. There's that snap to VWAP. That was really nice. Nice move there. Just missed it. Could have held it at even. Unfortunately, I did not. I'm going to look for a retest of it and try and buy it again. Cut into that loss there, which is good. Caught ourselves a small win. Should have been a nicer pullback to VWAP. Really wanted to get in long from that 340 level. Didn't get a chance to do that. We're just really waiting patiently as much as we can. That was capitulatory for the Nvidia move. So I do think that the sell side could come in here too, right? That does feel like a snappy move up for Nvidia. Microsoft looking like it wants to break down. Oh gosh, I didn't want to do that. What's flatten all? Flatten all. I didn't know what I did there. Hate when I do that. So silly when I do things like that. So that was a quick $5 loss there because I did not mean to enter that trade, so I snapped out of it right away. I think if we crack through this overnight low, we can get another bit of a leg down. I'm going to front run this a little bit. Not front run it, but I'm going to play that through this overnight low. If we catch on to this support line and run, then so be it. But I'm just kind of looking at this in terms of Microsoft getting heavier. NVIDIA gave you like a capitulatory kind of whip upside to break high of the day and just immediately selling from there. So my thought on the heaviness makes a little bit more sense. Gonna just see if it gets through there now. It shouldn't, like, with that kind of move, you wouldn't anticipate it to come back to this level to rotate out. Microsoft is holding though. The buyer is still strong at 432 for Microsoft. If that buyer gives up, then you get that snappy move to the downside. Playing with my levels here. There you go. S&P's breaking back down from overnight highs. We never even came close to overnight highs in the NQ. So if you start to get that weakness in the S&Ps, you start to get the weakness in NVIDIA and Microsoft. If you get that snappy move in Microsoft to the downside, if this buyer at 432 gives up, then I would anticipate this short to come in. So I'm looking for that right now. See if I can get that down to 70s. Well, maybe I'll front run that even a little bit more. We'll see. I'm going to buy it if it comes into there. If it starts to run into some resistance at 80s, I will buy some if it's going to. There's that next leg to the upside potentially. Could we get that whippy move in this opening range high and then rotate down? Does not look like it currently. Strength in both Microsoft and NVIDIA. So we're down 196-ish. Took one loss here on this. Took a winner here. Decided to trail out. Got wicked out on that candle there for this potential move to the high side. Had two contracts waiting to get off at VWAP. I got trailed out. Kind of is what it is there. I wanted to see what kind of movement we would get to downside with Microsoft and NVIDIA. But if this fails to break out here and these other names start to roll, then maybe we do have that downside pressure. I will play a continuation. I think that we do want to hunt that overnight high potentially. So I am not married to this short idea. I want to maybe come back down and retest these levels down here. Maybe not even make new lows of day. It would be great if it did. But overall, like I said, just quick move. See if we can break back down through 400. 400. Holding VWAP. Holding this opening range high. Microsoft coming back down to 432. Still holding the bid there. NVIDIA still creeping on up. How many more charts can I put up here? Can I do 4? I can't. Strength still here. Is this a bull flag, or is this going to be a failed breakout in the S&Ps, which will lead to our failed breakout of the overnight low here in the NQ? Relative weakness in the NASDAQ as opposed to S&Ps trying to hold overnight highs. We're trying to hold overnight lows here in the NQ with Microsoft at the highs, trying to continuously break down. If this buyer at 432 gives up, then that's when you can get this snappy style move to the downside is really what I'm looking for. If it can trigger me in quick and get down to 400, I'll try and get to even. I want to see how the price moves though, because if it does break this overnight low, I would anticipate 400 to come in like a snap kind of move. Maybe I'll buy 2 at that flush point, but at 80, this makes sense. There you go. S&P still fighting with that level. Microsoft 432 buyer gave up. Nvidia is still holding up on a bid though, so if Nvidia will turn, then we can maybe potentially get that full confluence of the sell side pressure to come back in. You can see that turn from the opening range high. S&P is selling off, so we should get some potential follow through the crack of this low here. As I mentioned, if I get to 400, I would like to get to even. Come on down. Just holds. Come on now. Snap a little lower. I need some follow through to the downside on this move. I needed to 400 though. I never got to 400. I got to 403. Come on, snap this down. We're out. All right. That should have went quicker than that. So that's my thought there. It should have been a little bit deeper. Probably should have got to even as we approach that level there. That's just all I got. That I'm going to size down just a little to let this last trade give me a better opportunity. That was a very snappy move there, so potentially could get that continuation to follow through. But I'm so close to VWAP, I'm not playing that breakout of that opening range high. I would like to snap it short again if it could go. But I don't think it's going to stay heavy. It feels relatively strong now. Breaking back above overnight highs for the S&Ps. Could potentially fail it. Microsoft still holding below 432. That was a nice rotation off the overnight low. The normal strategy right there, failure of a breakdown, rotate the other way, back to VWAP. Another good entry for that long idea. However, I don't necessarily trust it based on the way everything is reacting, right? Okay, let's see. Maybe we get this failure of this level for NVIDIA. Microsoft's very heavy at this high. I think that we can get some selling to come in still. So I am going to short it from here, risk to VWAP. Come on now. Microsoft, creep back up over 432. Then you start to catch a real bit of a squeeze action there. Microsoft still holding below 432. Heaviness there. 77% long on the tilt. Could give me a little bit of a quick move. Like I said, maybe I'll get to even quick. I would like to do something along those lines. Tightening up in the wedge. Let's see what's in store for this short idea here. Don't mind taking shots at this with the idea of some of these other names being kind of heavy. Microsoft, I want to see if NVIDIA will get back down below 117.71, which could give me some more confluence in this. A crack of this line could push us down to 400. Does it break through that level then? If we go hard snap, stop sell 2 more, and then take off at limit by 2. Yes, this is rollover week. Again, something that's kind of awkward to trade. So I want to see if I can get some snappy moves here. That's what I'm trying to catch. If I can get down to overnight lows, I will get to even. We're at even. If it snaps back up, we're out. If it snaps down with NVIDIA failing that level and Microsoft getting heavy, then we should be able to stay in. But this is dancing around to a point where we're probably going to get snapped out, and then it rotates our direction. So that's just how we roll here. If it doesn't go immediately, I don't want it anyway. So I'm out. It's going to go probably now because I got out. 387 down. Not too crazy. Still have 1 bullet left in the gun here. More, maybe more. I want to see if NVIDIA cracks down through 117.44. There's the heaviness. Can we get a snap off this? Can we get a bounce? Again, another bounce from this level. Nine 11 p.m. here, Central Time. Just a kind of a choppy portion of the day here. I like it heavy, man. I like it heavy. If this snaps the overnight low, I'm going to go short, and then I'm going to get to even. If we get another whippy type candle, right, I'm just going to keep getting to even quick. If anything snaps back above the overnight low, then we just get right out right away. It is interesting because I do anticipate higher price points into this rate decision. So, I think rollover has a lot to do with it. I think there's a lot of different types of players coming into this market currently. Still holding. Still bull flagging. This feels heavier in the S&Ps. NVIDIA is still holding that trend line to the upside. End 117.70, pushing up into 118, trying to make new highs of the day. Microsoft trying to breach back up over 432. If that buyer steps back in, could see some squeeze action going on to the high side. I just want to be ready for a really snappy short move if it wants to come back down. I think 400 is going to act as a key level. I think 522 is a good key level as well. 515. This is a really important level from the overnight session. I think we could possibly breach that on a breakout here over this little flag, right? If this snaps up now, it's a good time for momentum to step in. 69% on the tilt. It feels slightly bullish. NVIDIA ran right up to 118.17 was the high, and it's selling from there. Needs to get some continuation. Microsoft got over 432, but didn't give you a really like explosive move to the high side. It's kind of just lingering around 432. So if it gets back down below 432, then does that mean that we're going to continue to rotate, or are we just staying kind of choppy, range bound? I did mention into that rate cut, we may have a slight grind to the high side, which does feel like what we're doing right now. This slow grinding movement usually leads to some pops. I do like to fade the pops. That's just kind of my game. But do I want to see this get back down below 40s, short the 40s down into overnight lows, then start to, get myself covered to get in front of it? And NVIDIA is still strong. S&P, man, Microsoft's still strong as well. S&P is still not wanting to break out right now. I mean, if it does, then you would expect a snap to Friday's highs, 56.41s. Microsoft's starting to go now. There it goes. 432.50 broke. 432.64 would be that next area where Microsoft should break above. If it doesn't, you might get another rotation out of it. That's how I'm going to roll there. I'm going to get that snappy move and then get to even very fast on this. Although I do think we have some strength. Microsoft right to 432.60. NVIDIA finding some support at that trend line potentially could lead to some buying right here, right now. 118, 118.10. I'm going to go quick to this. Like, if I get back above 40, then I'll probably get myself out manually. So I'm going to get to even if it snaps down to 29s. And then I'm going to get out if it gets over 42. This is where I'm looking for a really snappy, hard move to the downside. Really heavy price action is what I'm looking for. Okay, 40. If it gets over 42, I got to get out, okay? There it goes. Nice snap. Oh, wow, we got slipped there quite a bit. Shit. Yeah, if it gets over 42, then we got to get out because we got slipped. Damn, that's unfortunate. Let's see if we can get some more heaviness, though, out of it since it did slip us to the downside. That's unfortunate. Quite an unfortunate turn of events there with that slippage because I was really tight up into 40. Let's see if we can get some more like really snappy heaviness. It does feel like it wants to go now. Like I said, anything over 42, I want to be out just because, especially with the slippage, I don't want to be in on that. If we can get this 2 contracts off at the overnight low, then I could be at even and I could be happy with the way this moved. But that was unfortunate for me. I'm not very happy with that at all because that really should have filled me a lot better. That was unnecessary slippage. And we'd be in the money right now instead of well out of the money. But that's just how it goes. It's unfortunate. I think I want to just get above here, 43. Microsoft found a buyer at 432. Yeah, that was sucky. Because I said if price got down to 429, I wanted to get to even. I was entered in at 440. I slipped all the way down to that low there. That was crap. Crap fill. Crap fill. That was the right trade too. That was the right trade, I think, for me. As far as the entry, the trade management idea of getting to even there. So I should have stopped at even. Crap. Unfortunate day so far today. I want to see where that ended up trading. 435. I had my entry at 440. So I got slipped 5 whole points on that. Damn. It is what it is. Move on to the next one. Don't have a lot to work with. We got $100 of daily drawdown left. I'm gonna try my best to get chipped back into this. If I can get back down below this in the S&Ps, then potentially we could rotate down further. That sucks. Oh, well. That was the right trade. I would have had 2 contracts off there. I'm going to just give it a second. Microsoft finding a buyer at 32. Again, a buyer stepped back into play. The heaviness feels ever present in the NVIDIA name, in Microsoft, trying to get back down below 432, could stay sideways. There's the heavy snap. I am really annoyed about that slippage that stopped me out and got my risk thrown off a bit. So that's kind of annoying. But I'm going to go for a buy here. If I can get this to close over this level, then I'm going to buy it.
Order filled.
Come on, Microsoft. Give me a big buyer. Step up. Step on up. Give me a big buyer here over this level. Get up over opening range high again. We flushed the opening range low. Held it quite nicely. So we should see a nice rotation back to this opening range high if it's going to go. If not, we're going to get stopped out and be done for the day. But we're going to see if we can get up over that level one more time. Actually, I would not even take that off there. I'm going to trail to view up with my full position and see if I can get it going. See if I can get it going to the high side. With the failed breakdown of the overnight low, normal strategy style. Microsoft still not trying to break out 432, just lingering there. Nope, Microsoft's getting heavy. Fuck me. All right, one of those days. do not like that.
Order filled.
All right. We maxed Drew down there, 550 on the day, gave it all back. So the trades were correct. This idea here slipped me and got funky, so that is what it is. Shouldn't have taken it. Now it's going to probably go here. So give me a minute. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Nice solid red day there. Trading the micros. I definitely wanted the long here at 340. Talked about it, didn't take it. And then we wanted to get some follow through on this with the heaviness in some of these Mag 7 names and just didn't get the follow through on it. And my trade ideas just didn't play out. Now they are going to start to do it because I no longer have any bullets left to shoot. So we're going to just chill and watch for a few minutes. Yeah, because I took this short here in anticipation of this snap to 400. We got slipped down to 35. I had to really limit our risk to 42. I didn't want to see that happen that quickly. I don't know how that 35s happened there that fast, but it is what it is. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. We move on to tomorrow. Still having capital and green. We have our journal here up and to the right. We go. Just kind of paper cutted our way out. That first loss was the biggest hit. It kind of just failed immediately. Should have saw that coming. So we're going to journal. Never caught any follow through. Managed risk. Okay. Got some slippage. And did not execute on the long from low. Oop. For heavy. Took that short there, and it was the right move on the failed break of this bull flag that you'd see there, right? This is where I really wanted to execute that and hold it as as the short for that move there, and I got myself stopped, and then I personally stopped myself out a little lower. Should have just held that. I mean, with the slippage, it just kind of was a little bit mismanaged. So that's just on me for once that slippage came in, allowing it to stop me out at an area where maybe I would have been a little bit more loose on it, right? With that good, clean move to the downside, you saw the heaviness coming in. I saw it in Microsoft and Nvidia, and then I tried to take the long to basically revenge it a little bit. And this was that normal strategy: holding, didn't hold. So overall, just took a few shots that didn't work out. Right? We took 1, 2, 3. This was an accident. 4, 5, 6, 6 trades that did not work out. Couple winners in there. Got stopped on this one where we were trying to get. So we took this trade here, ended up getting stopped on this candle right there, and then it wicked us in and took that profit that we would have taken. So a couple of just a little bit too tight. Still very heavy currently. I'll probably stay on till 10. I don't have any more trades to make because I'm locked out for the day. Hit my personal loss limit. I would like this is what I like about Top Step is setting your own personal loss limits. It is what it is. You lose some days, you win some days. I don't know what this is. Sorry, I got text messages. All right. If I could have been more patient on that sell, I mean, we really saw the heaviness coming in at some point here with the way the way Microsoft is acting in relation to Nvidia. And once Nvidia kind of recovered it, found its high there at 118, rotated off that. Microsoft failed 432 a few times. Really needed to give this that room to that view up for the failure. And just never gave it that chance. So the trade ideas were correct here. The execution on that was not so great. And it is what it is. So I'm going to try and get my... This is what I wanted to see before, maybe a flush of this low and then a rotation off of 340 as a long idea, which still could definitely play out. Why does it not allow me to do this? Doesn't make any sense. There we are. Very annoyed at this. Very annoyed at that. I was short here. Got slipped, stopped myself out, and then now it's rotating down through. I guess it's a payout. Trying to get these payout thing set up, but it's not working. All right, let's go with that. I don't like that this pops up here. It's kind of annoying. Good work, Ray. I did not trade well, but it is what it is. Here's that area where I would be interested in again for the long idea, but I would like to see if Microsoft could get down to like 428, 429, 428.80 ish. maybe even 429.40. I mean, we did just get there, so potentially that could give us a little bit further downside pressure. You know, this does make some sense for maybe some sort of choppiness around this zone again before it rotates back up. It does feel like it was sort of trappy right here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. The trade was right. I took this first one that really kind of started the day off with that crap. Got wicked in here for the failed failed breakdown. It ended up just getting really heavy. Got stopped out for a loser there, which is fine. Did not execute on the long here that I was considering. Wanted to see if I could get long from 340. Did not get that there. Took the long here. Really nice entry. Waited for it to pull back. Got this entry here. Got stopped out right below this candle there. Didn't get the follow through on it that I wanted to see. Could have held it a little bit longer and got myself out at VWAP. Unfortunately, did not. So we took a small win there. Then we got chopped in this a bit. Got stopped out here for another small loser. Then I got stopped out here again for another chop out. So really kind of chopped myself out, even though I saw some of this heaviness coming into play. We had this wedge. We had this failed break of this, what you would consider a a bull flag type breakout. Just the lack of follow through that you see in this break. If it's going to break this kind of pattern here, you're going to want to see something like this whip type of move to the upside. You never got that. So that rotation back down through here made a lot of sense. I caught I was entered short here. I got slipped 5 points and then decided to cut it because I just didn't want to take full risk, even though I should have just took the full risk and let it ride because of obviously hindsight being 2020. I would have had 2 contracts off here, but I stopped myself out when we started to get back up over this 442 for a loss there, and then I took another loser there. So it is, again, tried to play that long break, and then we failed again. So, and here's that rotation, flush of the low, high volume breakdown, failed to follow through, rotate from 340. So 340 finds itself to be the support level where I figured that we would get some bounce from. We did flush 429.50 in Microsoft, and so now rotating back up makes sense. I like that long there. I like that long there. I like the short here. Overall, the sentiment was right. I liked this here for the long. I like this here for the long where we're at right now. I like this for the short. And I didn't execute on this one. Executed on that one. Didn't execute on this one because I'm locked out. Because I caught myself in the chop. I didn't do dumb shit. I waited for my levels. I played all my key levels. Just didn't allow some of these things to breathe a little bit. And that's just my downfall for today. Like I said, I can't even be mad at the way I really traded. I mean, just this bothered me as far as allowing it to bother me instead of just managing it a little bit. Could have took a couple contracts off maybe. But I wasn't really heavily sized. .42 a.m. here, Central Time. I locked out because I hit my max loss limit here. I personally set it to 550, especially early on in this XFA. Until we build that buffer out, we're still up on the account. We're still safe. We were up about 1,000. Now we're up to 389.52. We were just shy of 1,000. We were at like 900. So unfortunately, took a loss today. Really, like I said, didn't trade too poorly. We took that first loser of the day here, took a small winner, took another break even, then just another full loss, and then we just chipped ourselves out on those last 2 moves there. That other loser, I I fat fingered a click here, tried to get an order out, and I set in a buy order on accident. So just got out of that. As soon as you see that, if you make a fat finger mistake, just get out of your trade. It's best to do, even if it's going to win or lose. It just doesn't really matter. Microsoft catching a bid, 430. It sucks not having bullets left in the gun to take opportunities that are there, but it is what it is. Frustrating there because that's really the trade that I was looking for the most part the whole time. Probably came into today with the bias of a long, when we open up, for me, in an uptrend, where we have been in an uptrend with a pullback into overnight lows, this is where I have to take that long idea every time. Like I said, if that happens tomorrow, I'm going to take it again. I'm going to try my best to, accept that risk and run it up. This just happened to fail and rotate to the downside. So that's just a nice true breakdown for us there. Could have been a little bit more patient waiting for this to come to that level there. But for the most part, we see if we open on overnight lows or overnight highs, we tend to snap pretty quickly in the other direction if we flush it. So it was overall you had to take that trade 10 times out of 10 because 7 out of 10 times it pays. This is the 3 times it doesn't. The rest of it, the trades in the middle kind of just, I didn't get the follow through on that, didn't get the follow through here. Obviously did get the follow through on this one, but snapped myself out and didn't get involved long enough. Tomorrow might be a quick stream again. I potentially will be. I'm doing overtime, a double tonight. I'm doing an overnight tomorrow. So really going to be pretty exhausted from work. So I probably won't be on. If I am on, it might be quick. See what kind of opportunity I get right at the open. Nvidia is sitting around that 115.97 area, so that's a good area for it to bounce off of. Microsoft also bouncing from 430 even and trying to catch a bid. So this could be that higher low here. Look to rotate through 340, rotate back to the highs, just based on the areas where those names are bouncing. If they're not going to bounce it, they're going to continue to follow through to the downside. I think we do have, let's see where that low was on Thursday's low is basically around that 19,200 level, right? That's where we had that huge run up into 19,230-ish on Wednesday. Thursday we tested that low, that high, and then ran off of that. Friday was similar. So 200, watch out for that level to the downside. I feel like that would be as far down as this would go leading into this. If we're going to sell off into this rate cut, then I would anticipate a bid. If we're going to buy up into it, then we'll maybe get a sell off. So it's just going to be an interesting thing to see what happens with that rate cut, or how big that rate cut is going to be on Wednesday. I'll probably stay on here till 10, see what happens with the price action. I do like this for a bounce play, at least up into that area there, but I'm not executing anything. I do not have any trades to make. I drew down sort of, not quickly, kind of just didn't allow this to break and go. So that was just on me. S&P's still trying to push back towards that overnight low. This is relatively strong here as far as the way this candle is holding above 40. Like I said, I think 40 does make sense as the area for a bounce. If it's going to bounce here, if you risk to lows, that's a fair risk, right? Because this is a good area for a bounce play, especially with NVIDIA, Microsoft, both catching an area where there should be some support. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Like I say, you kind of just got to go day to day. Reflect back on the executions, right? If I go into the executions and show them, save that. 556. So there's the executions on that. Tried to go long through here, got stopped. Of course, as soon as you size up, that's when you start to get a little bit. I sized up 2 micros, so nothing crazy, but that first trade there was a full loser. This one here was actually, we got stopped out right on that wick, right? We got long at 423. Got stopped out here at 430. Right there, just below that. And then it ended up running on up. We took a short at 436. And then ended up that was an accidental. I tapped the wrong button, so I flattened it. 417 short, then out at 436. So took that loss there, and then we just didn't get the follow through on that one. We got wicked in here at 417. And then I let this come out and stop me for a full loser, which is probably another reason that I should be out. Should have been able to get that to even quick. And then here's the short we took that we ended up stopping ourselves out on here. So we shorted 435. I snapped myself out at 443 because I really wanted to be in it for 40. So the slippage here didn't allow me to manage my risk properly. So I cut it just based on that. And then now you can see that rollover happened right after we got that entry there. So this was a good entry. This entry here was just trying to play the bounce off of the low, and we ended up getting stopped on that one. So like I said, we kind of played with this chop here a little bit too much. Now we are in an area where there would be more interest. Obviously, probably would have been in and stopped, or took 2 off and stopped. We're just going to dance around with this low at the moment, it seems. If you do get this continuation break, if you break through here, then like I said, 200 is an area of interest if you do start to look down at the lows. Frustrating Monday. I actually have been doing really well on Mondays. So for me to kind of just get slightly off on the day, it is what it is, right? Still plenty of room in this account, still up in the green. We're still doing all right up and to the right since we took that drawdown period. Today we were even at a 60% win rate, 68% win rate. We just didn't, the losers were big. It's not really a win rate. that we want to see. Oh, this actually right here, day win rate is 28%. That's what I'm going to say. There was no way that it was 68%. Our total winning percentage is 68%, which is still good. Still have a profit factor of a 1.16. And here's today's little pullback in the equity curve before that new equity high comes in at the end of the week. I'm going to anticipate trading well the rest of the week. 1, 2, 3, 4 more days. Rest of the week, try and just stack the wins, get it back from that drawdown, and just move on. Still not taking like huge losses, right? A biggest loser is 257. So it's just quick losers. Take the paper cut and move on. Just not seeing it well enough to execute on time. The rest of the week, the rest of the month, still just want to end this month in the green and just continue to stack this up the rest of the year. Hold this account as best as possible. I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes. I'm going to try and get some rest because I'm doing a double today. So a double tonight, doing an overtime tomorrow night. So a little bit busy on the work schedule. Wednesday, we do have the rate cut potential. We are looking at it to be priced in at, let's see, 61% of market participants here that, get involved in this FedWatch tool are pricing this in for a 50 basis points rate cut, which is a little high if you ask me, but it is what it is. Let's see what happens with that. Trading is a long-term process here. So let's see what this actually shows. Any change in this? I think this is just from Friday. But with the rollover, everything, this is a week that could get you chopped up a bit. So just be mindful of that. Like I said, I think overall, realistically, I took the trades that I needed to take. I didn't execute this one properly, which would have been the one that turned our day from red to green. And then this one here, I trailed a little too quick. Otherwise, the executions there were appropriate. This last one was kind of more of a shot in the dark at seeing if we were going to fail at overnight low and rotate higher, especially with the S&Ps being relatively looking like it wanted to break through that overnight high again as well. So trying to kind of keep that strength. It wasn't not part of the strategy. It was still part of the strategy, trying to take it long on a snap failure of that low. But that entry up here, I would have never really been out of it if I didn't, because we would have taken 2 off here at overnight lows and then trailed that out, as I would have been able to try my best here to trail through this low, because we would have snapped that off. Probably would have been stopped up in here somewhere. If I didn't get most of it off, then I would have probably taken one contract down to the low. All right, 9:57 here. Let's see what happens with this 10 o'clock price action. See if there's any sort of movement. And then I'm going to hop off, like I said, try and get some rest for the double tonight, and then move on to tomorrow and try and find good opportunities to make back what we lost today and get the week into the green. So that's all I want to do, is end the week green. If I could end every single week green, then we'll be in the payouts will come from that. Yeah, that's a little frustrating, because seeing those 2 entries, really, those 3 right here, this one, and that one, those are really where I should be taking those trades. Everything else, sort of noise. This just showed me the opportunity for that short squeeze kind of pop over the high. Never made it over there enough for me to get that long. And then you could see that was the high of the day really so far. Hopefully some of you fared a little bit better than I did today. You know, you got to show the winners with the losers and all around the good stuff. Like I said, I think overall, talking through these levels, they made sense with what we're seeing. I didn't get the heaviness to coming, sharp enough with Microsoft from the highs, and Nvidia also. I thought realistically we were getting that, and we did. It came in. You can see the heaviness there in Microsoft. You can see Nvidia rejecting that 117.72. So, we have all of that here for this short. I just didn't get it to work the way I wanted to. That's all. $10 here. Not much reaction on that. There's a selling pressure. There we go. Some more selling pressure coming in Nvidia and in Microsoft. Let's see if they can hold their key structure levels. If Microsoft can hold 428.80, I would like to see that happen. If not, then more downside, like I said, to that 200 level. I don't know where that line went. Did I delete it? I think I might have deleted it. This 200 level right here could be your downside target if it does continue through that low. If it does decide to snap back up from here, I would anticipate even an overnight high is getting tagged. Until Wednesday, like I said, I thought we were going to get some sideways type movement. That's why I wanted that short. That's why I wanted that long. I really wanted the long here to try and clean up some of that previous day at price action. Did not quite get in there. So we are accepting below Friday's low and into that range. So that could lead to just a grind to the downside. However, if we start to recover, get back over these overnight lows, get back over VWAP, start to catch a bid, this market could continue to rally back up and over. So mindset probably wasn't the best today. Maybe I'll start a combine. I don't know. Yeah, I just want to see maybe we get a bounce from this location or not before I get out of here. Hey, where are you going?
The pharmacy.
The pharmacy. Come on up. Say hello. Say hi to everybody. You going for a ride?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, not for a ride.
Not for a ride? Where are you going?
To my doctor.
Oh, the doctor. Okay. You want to stay with me? Or you want to go with mommy?
I said I'm going with mommy.
You gonna be good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be good.
You think so?
I think I'm gonna be better.
Okay.
When we come, Daddy, when I come back, can I play games on the TV?
I don't know. We'll talk to mommy, okay?
Okay.
Have fun with mommy. I love you.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and probably call it a day here. Bye. Let's see. There it is. Tried to make a new low, never really followed through. Held that 300 level. S&P, I mean, NASDAQ. My brain is not working today. Nvidia holding 115.97, that 116 level for now. Microsoft did give you a nice little pop up, seeing if it's going to break above that 430 mark. If Microsoft could get back above 430, I think the buyers step back in. Then that could lead to this to give you a little bit more follow through to the upside through 340. If not, if Microsoft continues to sell off down through 428, then this does have room, like I said, down to 200. I'm going to start a 100K combine because I like this idea here. And I want to try this with NQ.
Order filled.
This is my thought on that 40s on the bid. What's the 100K loss limit? 3K. Okay. I'm willing to try and take this to the high side, just on a test here on this combine. I'm giving it a shot to see if this idea will work. NVIDIA did run into VWAP and start to sell a little bit. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more follow through on a long through 40 there. Let's see if we can get some more pressure on the upside, just for a rotation the other direction. I want to see if Microsoft will get over 430. If we can get up to like that 70 mark, that'd be nice. Does not feel like it. Feels like maybe it's heavy. Microsoft does look like it wants to pop 430, so it's right there at 429.92 currently. But NVIDIA curled the other way, so NVIDIA selling from VWAP. Need to see which one's going to react first. Is it going to be Microsoft or is it going to be NVIDIA that's going to go the other way? Here's my thought on this. I'd like to see it up to 70. Microsoft broke above 430, now squeezing up. S&P, NVIDIA, I'm going to get the even on that now. See if this will run for us a little bit. This is 3 NASDAQ contracts, full NQs for the 100K combine, just because I like this idea enough to where I can get into it on something. Took my chance on it here. There we go. Nice little squeeze on up. Shouldn't get back down below that candle there if it's going to come back down. Sell one up here and then let the rest of it go. All right, we're up 1,000 on that. It's a nice little trade there. Just good little move. Wanted to get one off there just to make sure I secured something that if this stays rotational, if this does do what I want it to do off of that level based on Microsoft, based on NVIDIA, based on all the factors here, I would like to make sure I could get this to continue to run. Daily profit target has to be $3,000. And you're going to liquidate and block because this is a combine. So you can only max yourself out at 50% of the daily profit. Don't need to get all the way to VWAP. Just need to get to that previous day low. Looks like it wants to come back down a little bit here from that level. I would like to see it snap up through here. If it does snap up through 70s, then we should be able to be safe on a good heavy push up to that high side. If not, then we're going to get stopped. Below 3. Yeah, we'll be here. Nice push through 70s. If it's going to snap back down, we're going to get out. Should keep going though. Nice little move there. Unfortunately, couldn't catch this on the funded account, but we're maximizing our abilities to capitalize on something during the day here. If it's going to fail, we're going to take that off, which we did. Nice little $1,300 move there. Good. 1/6 of the way to funded on 100K. I do think that this still could fully push. From 40 was our entry. But with this not just snapping and breaking through and up into that 90 level, I just didn't want to give it back. Let's take some money as it comes, you know? Good little long there. It's going to stay rotational. It's going to stay rotational. Where are our levels here? This could be a good breakout of this level here. $77 long on the tilt.
Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could get that at even. If it was going to snap down there, I wanted to take it. I think we do continue upside. If we come back to 40, I would like to get long from 40 again. Could have took one off at this bottom end of here and then allowed that last runner, but it just doesn't make much sense to take it all. I mean, it's just take it all at that point. Did not squeeze through 80, so snap short through 70 could be a good idea here as well. Down in the XFA, started a new combine because I saw the long opportunity coming here at 40s. XFAs we traded micros, just kind of chipped ourselves away. Really took this short here, got slipped on it, and ended up, cutting it a little sooner than I would have liked, and then it failed on us. So, it is what it is. We didn't get it. So now we move on to tomorrow with the funded account. Let's see if we're going to approach getting this 100K combine funded. Bit aggressive on my combines, like I said, so I trade a little bit bigger size, a little more aggressive setups. Just not the best Monday here. Really good price action entries for the low. And then, again here from 40, like I said, I like the long term 40 with risk to low of the day. And it seemed like it's working out, more. Microsoft rejecting 431. NVIDIA at 117. There's the break of 90. S&P's breaking through previous overnight low. There's a little pop. A snap sell through 80 if it does go. Microsoft bull flagging a little bit. NVIDIA still stepping up. 117 still rejecting. If Microsoft gets through 431, then this should continue on up. I just like that 80% tilt to the long side where I want to just get a reprieve of that 80% tilt. Maybe just snap this one guy off. There's a nice little tick up in Microsoft. Watching Microsoft, see if it's going to crack and hold over 431. 431.13 is that high of that candle prior. See if it wicks it and rotates that. This is not following through the same way. And S&P's is heavy, so I want to see if I can get a quick snap back down to 68. It's a very tight risk with 3 contracts. There's a crack to the high side of Microsoft. Boom, 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 boom. There's Microsoft's pop to the high side. I think this is not. This isn't following through the same way Microsoft is. NVIDIA is selling. Oop, there's a pop. There we go. This is going to go now probably. If you don't break this high, this 90s, this is probably where that next leg comes in. If not, I want to see that failure snap quick, and I want to take that one off. Based on that heavy tilt was really big. I'm going to cancel the flatten these all. I don't want these there with that kind of strength. Microsoft still pushing straight up. I think we can get up to 431.94. And NVIDIA is still kind of like basing out at 117. You watch this. We'll see if that holds. All the way up to previous day lows, possibly. Get up at 400. Just got to 400. I don't see. There's 20-something contracts on the book. Nothing crazy as far as fills are concerned. S&P's finally broke through that overnight low, and it looks like it's trying to hold that. So if we can crack through 400 again, maybe we get a little squeeze up into previous day lows. 5 minutes till that euro close. Same to you, AK. I hope you did as well. Today is just an up and down type of day here. Down on the funded account, small, well, medium. Took a couple paper cuts. Up on a combine here that I'm trying to pass out and get another bit of funding for me. Overall, it's going to be a choppy week until we get to that rate decision, and then we can see what happens with that rate decision. Mr. Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. I like the short idea through 80, though. I don't want it through that quite yet. Failing 400. I'm going to probably cut loose early here. Like I said, I was going to get off at 10. I saw a good opportunity here for a buy down at 340, so I stayed on. We got in at that 340. We took off the whole position there at 370, and then we've now ground up higher. I do see that there is some heaviness. If Microsoft could pop its head over 431.94 and maybe get us like a liquidity grab, I would anticipate maybe a whip again over 400 into this overnight low, previous day low, and then that would be where I would be interested in a sell, although the selling is already starting to come in. Could be the trap first. Trap, retest, come back in long, and then get that next leg down. Later, AK. I appreciate you stopping in for a nice quick hello. You have a good day. I'm going to hop off here soon as well. There's a heaviness. Nice little heavy crack. I still think that this comes up again through 400. Oh, yes. The sultry voice of the Italian New York Texan. Gotta keep all the accents on the table here. Hell yeah. Gotta love it. It's a shitty Monday for me, to be honest. Don't have that same energy today. I love Mondays. I do. It's probably because I gotta work a double tonight and then work again tomorrow night. So possibly dragging it down. But we are good. We're here. We're almost there. I want to see Microsoft get up over that 431.94 for failure. That would be nice. I appreciate you, AK. Thank you, sir. I will try my best to be safe at all times, so I can come back to the charts and talk some more and make some tradeds. I want this up over this level. Get up over 400 one more time. Get up over that previous day low. S&P's is failing overnight lows earlier. Microsoft, if it breaks down below 431.50, probably starts to get some more sellers. Ooh, yes. I put on my Men in Black glasses for that, just in case. I don't want to be one of the ones that disappears. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean. Oh, yes. We are here. We are live. We are always here. Even tomorrow, I will be on potentially. It might be a short lived, but I will be here. Later, AK. I like the heaviness. If it gets through 80 again, it probably starts to go. Microsoft's selling now. Got through that 50 level. S&P 9Q didn't follow it though. Mm. There it is. There it is. Get through 80s. What do we got at 80s on the book? Nothing at 80s. See if we got to pop into that London close at 10:30. I want to see if this will snap 80. If it snaps 80, we should get a little bit more selling. Microsoft's really heavy right now. Yeah, there's that push up. This is going to be a really quick idea. Nope, don't like it.
Order filled.
Can we get through 80s? Can we get through 80s? does feel like it wants to go, right? If it snaps over that, then we're going to get out of that and we'll be locked out with $1,000. But did seem like it wanted to keep going to the downside based on some of these names. But Microsoft, Nvidia, both getting a little heavy here. I want to get that contract off at 80 actually. 81, 80 and a quarter. It's going to snap up here and we're going to get out at 300 loss and be done. Lock it out. But these are heavy names, so this interesting. So I leave it at 400 and then manually close it. Yeah, we're out. You see that snap over that level there. Mm-hmm. There it is again. The heaviness again. Front running 400 again.
Order filled.
Make that 300 back or 150 back of that. Take that one off. If that gets taken off, then we're going to get to even. Oof.
Order filled.
There we go. All right. See how low we can take it.
Order filled.
All right, so we took back that 300 that we lost on that first attempt. Now we're going to let this one run a bit. Go candle by candle. If we can get through that 60 level, I got to go to the top of this candle. I don't like the follow through that we're getting on this. I mean, it's nice. It's heavy. Let's see if it can get heavier. Get through this low. If we can get through 60, like I said, then we'll start to trail it more. That was a snap to 60. I'm going to leave it over this for now, and then I want to see if I can get through it. If it gets through 60, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to put it the stop just over that. Quick trail. You know what? We'll go to even, and then we'll buy out of it. A close over 73 quarter or 73 will lead us to getting out of this position. I would like to come down all the way into 40s. Microsoft trying to get a little bit of a bid. And Nvidia still just kind of holding these lows. I think we still have more downside for both of these names to continue, which should help this move to continue to the downside as well. If it doesn't, if it snaps, like I said, if it snaps over 73 and 73 quarter, if it holds, then we got to just get out of it. But if it's continuing on, I don't want to. I'm going to go candle by candle here. Actually, it's really that level right there that keeps that one at even. All right. Still holding. This one runner left on. We took 2 of the 3 contracts off. We want to see if this will get heavier. I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'm going to let it dance. If it stops me out, it stops me out. Hey, what do you know? We're still in it. Sometimes when you don't overmanage things, they stay good. So we've breached 60 again. We're going to get over this 73 that I talked about before. See how much more we can get out of it. Still holding 60. Unfortunately, this is a combine. I mean, doesn't really matter. I'm still pushing towards funding again with this another 100K. My XFA I locked out for the day, down 550, 560. So, yes, this is a combine currently. We're going for 100K, so we're looking to have 150K of funding. The most I can make today is 3K. I'm up 1,800 currently on unrealized with this position. We'll see how low we can take it, how we can manage it. If the position closes on its own, it's because I've already made more than the profit amount. But really, that's if it makes low of the day. That's the only way we'll hit that target. So see if it makes new lows on the day or not, or if it's just going to rotate through 60 and kind of dance around here a bit, come back up, stop us out, right? I'm going to try and hold this a little bit longer, but I do see some buyers coming in. What did I say? 73. If it's over 73, we're going to get stopped. This was another breakout point here. That's 59, the 60 area, right? So if we do continue to recover it, continue to melt to the downside, I would like to see it down into this blue box. And the further down we get, if we can get into the blue box, then I'm going to start to trail out tight, try to maximize that gain, obviously, but would need to take it off at that low for the full realized profit there. So the ability to scale up is there, right? These positions make sense. The more you have as far as a buffer, as far as a drawdown is concerned, the more money you can make on, multiple contracts. You obviously do risk accounts that way. And I'm personally, like I said, I'm seeing the market well. My executions are there. I just don't, today was a little bit sloppy as far as price action was concerned early. Took this long here on this account, and now we took a short from the high. I think that if we get over 60, we probably should cut it. Yeah, I'm going to cut it there. So I took another couple $100 off of that. We're up 17.66 on the day. Maybe if we get down to these lows again, I'll see if we could find another long to see if we stay rotational. Something about where we're at right now tells me that we're going to maybe dance around some and give a lot of that back. I'm willing to take $500 off the table on that last little piece, right? 450 really. That trade there, net 450, 550, 650, $700 on that trade after giving back 300, right? So that's that 1,700 on the day for those two trades. Technically three, I guess you would call it, but there's that breakdown again. Could have held it, but just seeing the way that price acted around here kind of just gave me some pause on it. I was willing to secure that last little piece on that pop up. Alrighty, I think that's probably all but what I have to say about that today. I will come back on here tomorrow, probably early, and see what happens with some of the opportunities that I get early in the day, and then probably cut out early as well. So I'm going to cut it today right there. I will see you guys all maybe tomorrow morning, maybe not Wednesday morning, but definitely by the rate cut decision, you'll see me on here live. Always check back. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Peace out.